Hello everyone and welcome to a game called The Widow's Shadow. The Widow's Shadow is a visual novel that I am excited to play, and it has some hold on. Let me see if I can find they have a list of things that you need to watch out for, like in terms of like oh no, my gosh, oh my gosh, no. Okay guys, so there is a content warning. If you're sensitive to death, domestic abuse, mentions of murder, gaslighting, cheating, monsters, spider imagery, mentions of war, drugging, stabbing, blood, and choking, then do not engage. But yes, that is the content warning, so please be gentle with your mind. We can go ahead and start now. So this has 3 endings. We're gonna try to find all of them. Let's go ahead. Death, in the end, it gets us all. It's an inevitability we're all aware of, yet we try hopelessly to ignore it. The war exposed us all to the fragility of life, leaving only carcasses of the people we once knew. Friends, family, lovers, gone forever. Even though the war ended a few years ago, its remnants are still felt. We tried to return to our lives, to blind ourselves to the final fate of it all, but in the end, death gets us all. And for some, that ending arrives unexpectedly, much earlier than it should. I can't believe it. He's truly gone. I just visited his clinic last week and nothing was wrong. How could this happen? Never before have I met someone as caring as him. He was so young too. May God bless his soul. It's true, he was the only one who actually took my illnesses seriously. Without him, I may as well have been the one in that coffin. You know, I've been wondering about his death. Hush, his wife is coming this way. Oh, did I kill you? She actually... Keep your distance, I heard. Is that true? I knew something. I wonder if they think she's a witch. The townspeople continued chattering behind me. I know they're discussing me, but their words grow distant as I look at the cadaver of my late husband. His face no longer shows any signs of life. His skin as pale as the moon above us. It seems cruel that the world has taken such a beloved man and left his worthless wife instead. How? Just how am I meant to go on? A tear slips down my cheek and into the casket. Without him, I'm in no one. I might as well vanish from existence. As the whispers around me dissipate, the funeral continues. Are you sure about that? Am I really no one? Only 3 days have passed since the funeral. I have not left the house since then. It's not unusual, rather, it was the norm, even when my husband was still alive. After all, I had to take care of the chores around the house and prepare things for when he returned from work. There was barely any reason for me to go out. But now that he's no longer here, the silence in the room is more noticeable than ever. I still remember when I found his body, his hand slowly releasing its grass from his shirt as he took his last breath. It was too late for me to do anything. Once more, I was unhelpful, even when it mattered most. Everything afterwards is a blur, but his face is burned in my mind, contorted in an expression I have never seen on him before, one of helplessness. I bring a hand to my chest. The air around me feels suffocating. It'd be good to get the groceries. I'm running out of eggs already. A simple excuse to get out of the room. The afternoon sun is covered by a multitude of clouds, but that hasn't seemed to stop the townspeople from spending time outside. I can feel our eyes on me as soon as I exit the house, but I try to ignore them. Is that the doctor's wife? Oh my, that is her! It's rare to see her outside, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely, but don't stare at her too much. You would not believe the things I heard. Oh, now I must know. A knot forms in my throat. No matter how much I try to block out their voices, they're too loud to ignore. I saw her at the funeral the other night. I'm sure I saw her hide a smile. Unbelievable. If I may, how did the doctor die again? They said heart failure, but you don't think she could have, My body tenses upon hearing them, upon understanding what they mean. I bet she did. Frankly, I think she was disappointed the war didn't take him away. She probably wanted to keep all his money to herself. That's not true. Maybe she's getting tired of married life. From what I hear, it doesn't sound like she actually loved him at all. That's not true. I saw her husband looking very worried not too long ago. Do you think he expected this? Well, he was always going on about how he thought his wife was going to kill him. That's not true. Overwhelmed by the words that surround me, I hurry my pace, desiring nothing more than to get away. I run and run, the judgment in their voices still ringing in my ears. They think I killed him. I shouldn't have left the house, but it feels so painful to stay inside. Now perhaps the whole world will be filled with suffering for me. I press on until I forget my destination, not paying attention to my surroundings anymore. I hate those people. Those people suck. She is grieving. She is a grieving widow, and all they can think about is how she could have been the murderer. It was because he was so beloved and kind to them, and a good doctor, apparently. But they're just bitter that he's gone, but they're taking out their anger on his poor wife? That's really sucks. I finally stop to catch my breath, my legs aching from the sudden exercise. These clothes are not made for running, nor are my shoes, nor is my body. Only once I regain my breath do I notice that the ground beneath my feet is no longer stone. I lift my head slightly and notice that in my panic I stumbled into a forest. I don't remember there being any forests nearby. I turn around to try and retrace my steps back to where I came from, but I only see more trees behind me. This isn't good. How will I return home? Looking forward once more, I notice a clear path between the trees. I wonder if perhaps it could take me somewhere I can ask for directions. As I walk through the trees, a curious shape makes itself visible in the distance. A rather small building stands out at the end of the path. A house? Here of all places. At the moment, approaching it seems like my best bet to find someone who can aid me. With light steps, as my legs still ache from before, I walk the path towards the house. Ooh. It takes some time, but eventually I make it to the house. The building is unlike any I've ever seen. Its walls or windows twist and turn in strange ways, never upright. As I observe the place, I take notice of something unexpected. A group of people are having a lively chat just outside the house. There's an odd feeling inside of me as I watch from close by. I have seen them before. They're people from town. What are they doing in a place like this? My eyes wander from a strange looking man. Something about him is different from the rest. Oh, thank you so much for taking care of me, Doctor. I've been feeling so much better ever since I first visited you. Is that my husband? Please, there's no need to thank me. I'm just glad I could be of help. If you feel any side effects from your new medicine, do let me know as soon as possible, alright? You're so humble, too. Be truly blessed to have you in this town. It is such a shame you're already spoken for. I walk a bit closer to take a better look at them. Upon laying my eyes on the face of that strange individual, I finally recognize him. That's my husband. I knew it. Haha! Oh, you're too kind. But don't let my wife hear that. But he died. How could he be here, standing in front of me? Although, the hair, it isn't anything he's had before. Could I be confusing him with someone else? Ah, but his face is identical. And they even mentioned he's a doctor. What's going on? Huh? Ah. If it isn't my darling wife. Wife? So it is him. But how can this be? Why are you making that face, love? Are you perhaps not happy to see me? Of course, this is the greeting I get from you. I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up. Ah, sorry. I don't understand. This man, who is supposedly my husband, leans in and lowers his voice. You've always got your head in the clouds. Who knows what kind of crazy thoughts you're having right now? The least you could do is not embarrass me in front of my patients. Excuse you, Mr. Doctor. Excuse you. I haven't said a thing. But I haven't done anything to... I'm not looking for excuses. I will give you another chance this time, since I'm feeling generous. He really is just like him, despite the changes in his appearance. Yet, he shouldn't be here, or anywhere else for that matter. Is this real? My gaze wanders from my husband to the strange house behind him. Everything around me seems uncanny. I have no idea what's happening here. Perhaps I'm going mad, but I need to find out more. I face my husband, who seems to be awaiting an answer from me. But as I open my mouth to speak, his figure, as well as those of the villagers, disappears into thin air. Yeah, no, I don't want to be his wifey woo anymore, okay? He kind of sucks low-key right now. How? I realize that it's useless to ask anything of the empty air. My eyes fall upon the door once more. Perhaps inside I can learn what's truly happening here. I gather enough courage to knock. The door opens unexpectedly before my knuckles can even strike it once. Hello? A voice echoing through the walls of the house flows out the door. Come in, come in. I've been waiting for you. Waiting? A part of me is terrified, wondering what I'm getting myself into. And yet, despite this, I don't hesitate to take a step forward and enter the house. No wonder why she's down so hard on herself. That doctor was like being mean to her, bro. That doctor was making her feel insane, like she can't do anything. Oh man, it's dark only for a moment before the inside of the house reveals itself. I kind of hope we get their backstory. To my surprise, the space before me is much larger than it seems from the outside. The walls extend far beyond what I could have imagined what could fit within them. I take another step deeper inside as the anxiety builds within me. There's no one around, just where did that voice come from? As if triggered by my thoughts, the light goes out. Ah, my eyes adapt to the darkness. At least there's some light in the windows. Alas, the devil is dead! A sudden voice calls out, the same as before, but this time so much clearer. There's an odd familiarity in the voice, one that I can't quite place. A shadow is cast on the steps coming from me, and its form begins to change. The lights turn on again, blinding me for just a second. Ah, where the shadow was before, there is now a woman. At last you're here. I've been waiting for you for so long, oh so long. We have to celebrate. Huh? Celebrate? Wait, who are you? It kind of looks like the widow, but like more lively. Yeah. There's something strange about this woman, not only in the way she dresses, but in her mannerisms, but also in her voice. It sounds just like my own, exactly the same that I hear. Yeah, they look exactly alike. Me? Oh, love, you haven't figured it out yet. I'm you. I knew it. Huh? Don't be ridiculous. I'm me. You can't be me. Right? My, you're quite slow. The one in front of me raises her veil. I am your shadow. What? Your face? It's just like mine. You're finally understanding. I'm the truest, most honest version of you there is. How? It's like looking into a mirror. But even if we look the same, her attitude is nothing quite like mine. You may not have been aware, but I have been around for a long time. However, I'm getting quite tired of having to explain myself. Let's move on to the celebration, shall we? What celebration? Did you not hear me the first time? The death of that devil, of course. Or in the clearer terms, the death of our husband. What? Oh, I've waited so long for that man to croak. How can you say that? Huh? Why do you look so sad? This is what you wanted, isn't it? You should be happy. Didn't you feel joy seeing life abandon his body? Seeing him lose his strength and keel over? Seeing him die because of you? Stop. How dare you say such things? I loved him. He was my husband. You do know that those things don't have to correlate, right? And implying I killed him, I never had done that. Things weren't always perfect, but that's normal in any relationship. Not if it's one-sided. Losing him hurt the whole town. It hurt me. I'm nothing like you. Ha. You're quite pathetic, aren't you? Fine. We can leave this for the festivities for later. Since you're having such a hard time accepting this, perhaps I'll give you a little more time. Behind me, the door slams shut. Don't even try. The door's locked tight. Why? It's too early for you to leave. Feel free to explore the house. I'm sure you'll find plenty of interesting things in the shadows. See you later. With those words, the shadow vanishes from the view, leaving me alone in this strange house. There's a little choice on what to do next. Oh boy, it's time to save. I could just wait here, but perhaps I should do what she says, though the thought of what I might find frightens me. I take a deep breath, then head down the first hallway I see. No. Entering the windowless hallway, I notice how it stretches towards a never-ending void. I turn to go back the way I came, only to see the archway I entered through has vanished. Please, no. Hello, are you still there? Shadow? As I call and scream for help, my voice is muted, sucked in by the darkness and lost to all but me. No, this can't be my tomb. The harrowing creak of a door opening in the far distance draws my attention. As I gaze upon what lies before me, the end of the hallway feels far, impossibly far, but it's also the only respite available. I guess I have no choice. With each step I take, the end seems to draw further and further away, and the door never comes into view. Huh? What's that? Something catches my eye up ahead. I rush over to get a better look. A large framed photo hangs on the wall, staring down at me. Craning my neck, I see two more further along the wall. Looking back to the photo before me, I see myself and him together on our wedding day, smiling. I still remember our vows. Yes! We're getting a backstory! I promise to be your honest and faithful loving wife for the rest of my days. I vow to dedicate myself to your happiness and success. My love for you is forever. It's comforting remembering this moment in time, when we were both happy. The happiness didn't last long. Our first big argument was the night after the reception. Not wanting to wallow in my memories of him, I move on to the next hanging frame. Where did you go? There you are, I found you. The next picture silhouette stares down at me, my old friend from life before marriage. We'd known each other since our youth. Hide and seek was our favorite game to play in the woods behind our homes. He was always supportive of things I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. If you say he's not the one for you, then he's not the one for you. I hope you'll be happy together. I wish you my love and all the best in your future. I hope you've been well, my friend. It's been so long since we last spoke. I often wonder where she is now. My memory fails to remind me of how and why our friendship ended. We were so close for so long. The cries of a baby pull me to the last frame photo. The closer I get, the louder the cries become. It's haunting. I look at the final photo and see a reminder of the nursery my husband and I prepared only a couple years ago. It was still early, I had yet to conceive, but we were nonetheless excited to welcome our new addition into our lives. I wish for a world where you could have joined me. Wanting to distract myself from my thoughts, I continue onwards. Light breaks through the darkness as I make it to a slightly open door at the end of the hallway. Finally, a way out. My darling, you made ample headway. I hear my husband's voice seeping through the rest of the next room. How is he? Here. Careful. If you progress too quickly, you won't have a reason to see me anymore. Is he talking to me? Before we were wed, he used to speak to me like this. It was charming. At least I found it so. That was when I was his patient. That's how we met, but this doesn't make any sense. The woman's laughter echoes into the hallway. Of course, he was speaking to someone else. He hasn't spoken to me that way in years. Doctor, you're too funny. There's a reason I come here so often. Well, maybe I can find another element to rid you of. I draw closer to the door, peering through its cracks. Sure enough, I see my husband in the next room, his home office. At least the man who claimed to be him. He draws near to the only other person in the room and leans over her, closer to any patient would be comfortable with. And yet it's clear she's not moving away anytime soon. It wouldn't be hard. I'm positive you'll find a multitude on further examination. She smiles seductively at him, encouraging him to continue. Was he like this with all his patients? And I just happen to be the first? What's going on here? The quick disappearance of the woman surprises me, but only momentarily. The fact that I can see my husband standing before me, or a version of him, shakes me much more. Darling, couldn't you see that I was with a patient? I've told you before, when I'm working, you're not to enter my office. Whether this man is real or not, he certainly sounds like my husband. And that tone, his manner of speech, is as if he were here with me again. How could I not worry? He's right, this is a part of his job. How could I not worry upon finding him in a position as questionable as that? Who was that woman? I don't understand what's so unclear. She is a patient, nothing more. If you're worried because you were also my patient in the past, then you do well to remember that you're the one I married. Menu. No. Load. Exactly. I'm his wife. Once again, he's not wrong. But that is why these thoughts cross my mind. I'm his wife. Is this not how a wife would react? But now I question what sort of woman I've married. Look at the mess around the house. Have you done any cleaning at all today? Oh no, I'm speaking up. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Let's say it. Yes, I have. I always do. I know how he'll respond, but I can't hold my tongue any longer. When my husband was alive, I always cleaned every day. He just never cared enough to notice. You should spend less time eavesdropping and more time taking care of our home. I often wish there was a way to show him just how much I did for us. I don't have time to oversee both my own work and that of my wife. Do you ever take into account how tired I am at the end of my day? What about me? I do, I always do. Well, if that's all, you may return to your daily tasks. You best get started considering how much you've been dilly-dallying. Even when I did finish all my work, he'd find more for me to do. He was never short of ways to keep me busy. Something continues to eat away at me. His words and their dismissive nature gave me pause. That woman, I've seen her at our home before during his off hours. When he courted me, he was not married, but now, despite this marital status, she continues to return for his services, like a leech that's forever hungry for more. Thoughts race through my mind, churning as questions of my husband's faithfulness return to haunt me. Why did he not refuse her advances? Was he looking to replace me? Were his assurances of love riddled with lies? I look back at the woman in the mirror. Doesn't she not see me standing here? Who? Your patient. She has returned. I see her in the mirror seeking your attention. Why has she returned so soon? She was just here. He sighs and looks at the mirror, then back at me. A hint of annoyance taints his face. You mustn't be well, my dear. I don't know what you see, but the only people in the reflection are the two of us. No, he's wrong. She's right there. Perhaps you're imagining things again. You know how prone you are to seeing and hearing things that aren't there. The woman in the mirror turns to stare at me. A wide smile creeps across her face, as if she has successfully lured my husband away. But she is right there. Can you really not see her? Stop your nonsense this instant. He waves me away, but I can't stop myself from looking at the woman. Her chilling smile and soulless eyes bore through me. She couldn't have been the only one. He takes note that I have not yet to depart. How many times do I have to tell you that she is not here? You must see her too. Tell me she's real. There is no one. I shut my eyes tight, shielding myself. Upon opening my eyes, I could see that she had disappeared. Even when she leaves, I know she'll come back time and time again just to see you. Of course she will. I'm her doctor. Is that where it stops? Quit making up stories in your head. If there's nothing going on, then why does she come by so often, even when you're retired for the evening? The more I speak my mind, the more I make feel myself shake. I know I need the power flow. A memory surges through me. I think I've felt this way before, but no more than once. She can't have so much ailing her that she can simply visit whenever she pleases. Drop it, now! Women, can you not see that I am devoted to you? Who do you think I work so hard for? I keep food on the table and a roof over our heads. There is no one else I am married to. I recoil at his outburst. His face turns monstrous, almost otherworldly, like my shadow. I can't bear to look at him. Do you not see how much I do for us? And here you are, accusing me of outrageous things while you laze around, doing absolutely nothing! Though this is far from the first time he's raised his voice, I had never expected to experience this again, let alone so soon. I thought I buried these feelings when I buried him. I hear him breathing heavily, seething through his teeth. After a moment, he clears his throat. I know this is him attempting to regain composure. My dear, look at me. Slowly, I open my eyes. His regular expression has returned, softer than before. Come, let me help you ease your mind. I take a step towards him, but stop when he reaches for his medicine cabinet. Come here! This is for you and your well-being. As I look at the medications that lies at his palm, I hesitate. My gaze turns to the mirror. No, I'm not save. No. I guess we're gonna figure out who really is the crazy one. I don't know. What if I am the crazy one? Or what if he is the abusive one? What if I'm the abusive one? No, I don't feel like that though, so I'm not taking these pills. I know my mind is not failing me. I know what I saw. I stand my ground, making it known that I do not plan on ingesting any more of his medicine. How do I know that these drugs aren't what caused me to see those supposed hallucinations? He continues to stare at me sternly. Finally, he shrugs and places the pills back in their bottle. You don't know what others in town say about you in your episodes. Administering these pills is my way of protecting you, darling. Try to understand the position you put me in, though. Do you not see how you make me behave? I'm only this way when we're together. No one else pushes me to my limits quite like you. Wait, back. I don't say anything. He wasn't always like this. He used to be more loving. Perhaps he changed because of how often I questioned him. I'm only telling you these things because I love you. Why must you continue to question me? What I do, how I am. If you truly love me as much as I love you, you let me be. You trust me, just as I trust you to take care of our home in my absence. I know, I'm making a lot of saves. I love you as much as I trust you. I do love you just as much as I trust you. Clearly not enough, it seems. No matter how much I show you, or however many times I tell you, I never what? You never listen. I never listen? Every time you talk, I listen. If I never listen, what do you call, what I'm doing right now? Well, he thinks he's right, but he's wrong. He only hears what he wants to hear, never attempting to understand. You listen, but you don't comprehend anything I say. He scoffs at my comment. Clearly, he isn't used to me speaking up. For a moment, he seems flabbergasted, fumbling for words. I don't comprehend, because you have nothing of substance to say. He found his voice, but he still spits out whatever excuse he can grasp. Even when I'm dead, I'll still hear you speak nonsense. But you are dead. He stares at me long and hard, unwavering in his gaze. I bet you like that, wouldn't you? Anyway, I can't talk to you when you're like this. He roughly grabs my arm and pushes me towards the door, leading back into the hallway. I don't struggle against his grasp. After all, what's the point when I finally see a crack in his words? Leave me to my work. I don't need you interrupting me any more than you already have. Finding myself back in the hallway, I head to the only available direction left for me. I don't want to linger on the memories of recent events. The hallway feels much shorter than the first time I came through. Perhaps it stems from knowing the unknown. The framed photos from where I first traversed this endless hallway come back to the view. Oh yeah, no, he sucks. I approach the first one. The nursery, never used. The crying doesn't haunt me as much as it did before. He always said it was my fault that he never had someone to carry on his legacy. I guess he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Taking a step closer, I raise my hand to the photo. Yeah, no, I'm glad you didn't have a child with this very toxic and abusive man-child. I don't care if he's a doctor. I don't care how many people he's cured. He's a piece of work, that's what he is. He needs to cure himself before he gets married, bro. I'm glad I never had you, and saved you from having to experience this world. From having to experience him. Things always happen for a reason, and this was probably for the best. Psychopath. He was a psychopath or something. Best to not linger on what could have been. I continue to the next framed photo and look up at the woman before me. I'm sorry we lost so much of our time together. I wish you were with me now, to help me pull me out of this place. You would have known what to do, what to say against him. I remember how strong-willed she was. Nothing could faze her, not even my husband. Now that I think about it, my husband never had anything good to say about her, because she was probably against it from a start. She probably saw something. Good friends see something, and they tell you. They will tell you how they really feel. I feel like they will not sugarcoat it for you. They will not stop and watch it go down in flames. They will tell you. They will tell you. And they will not BS you. If you're happy with somebody and they're like perfect for you, they will tell you, "Hey, this guy rocks. This guy's perfect. You know, this girl rocks. She's awesome. You know, you've been so much happier ever since you've talked to this person. I've seen how she's like, you know, came in and like changed your life. You feel so much better, you know." Or they will tell you, "Hey, you've been like acting different lately. You seem down. You seem like you're not happy because like your partner, you know, seems overbearing, seems this or that, seems too clingy or something. I don't know." In the end, the people in the relationship are the ultimate deciders, but true friends will tell you what they see. True friends will let you know the truth. They will let you know. True friends will not BS you. I'm just saying. That's why he didn't like her, though. She was a true friend to her. And he wanted to isolate her and make her clean his house. You know? Wanted to have a child with her when that didn't work out. Oh, I'll just clean my house and then make yourself useful. You know? She will only plague your thoughts with ideas unfit for a woman, let alone a wife. Her ideas were always grand, like traveling and exploring the world. Have you not heard how the town speaks of her? Why do you think she continues to be unwed? Oh well, being wed is not the only thing life has to offer. Okay? Not everyone wants to be wed. Gosh, why is that such a big... That was such a big thing in the past. It still kinda is now for some people, but not as much. She often said a man would only hold her back. You have to let her go at some point. She won't be with you forever. That's what I'm here for. To care for you and protect you. You only protected me from seeing the world, and from the world seeing me. I chuckled to myself. Maybe when we grew apart, that's where she went, around the world, experiencing things I could only dream of. All on her own. The last words she spoke to me come trickling back. Come, my friend, we can travel the globe together, just the two of us, away from all those who insist on dictating how we live our lives. I wish I had followed you. Turning my back on my friend yet again, I do my best to continue. It's what she would have done. I stop at the last rain before me. The unhappy memories of my wedding night enter my mind. It was long after the reception we had. Our family and friends were still present at the venue. He had pulled me aside after following me to the restroom. Seething through his clenched teeth, he accused me of embarrassing him in front of our loved ones. That I had called his family cheap, that I was too materialistic, that I was unappreciative of what they had given. Girl, you should have broke up with him on the wedding day. I had only pointed out that his parents' gifted bottles of wine still had its price tag tacked to the bottom. That was the first time I learned how little he cared to listen to anything I had to say. He simply continued to scold me, as if he was in love with hearing his own voice. If only I knew then what I know now. The moment I turned away from the framed photo, the arch of the hallway exit appeared before me, as if the house knows I'm ready to move on. I hurried through the archway as quickly as possible, leaving those memories behind for now. But somehow, I know this isn't the end of it. Why did that woman bring me here? What could she possibly have to gain from doing this to me? To you, maybe for you. You need to go through this to come to your to process. This is your process house. Yeah, you're processing stuff. All that pain, all that guilt and resentment thrown back in my face like it was nothing. Why can't I just be left in peace? You really don't get it yet. Suddenly, she appears before me, with that odd smile that doesn't look right on her face. My shadow. I'm doing this for you, my dear, so you can finally stop burying your head in the sand. You're beginning to see the light. But it's not enough. Oh no, it's not nearly enough yet. What else did he do? You're enjoying this, aren't you? Forcing me to relive the things I've been through, the things he did to me. Tell me something. If you really are me, why do you want to watch me suffer? Because, darling, your strength is my strength. The truth will set you free and all that. But it can't very well do that if you don't face it. And what truth is that? She lets out a giggle and taps the side of her face conspiratorially before vanishing once again, her voice still echoing in my ears. You'll see. And just like that, I'm alone again. But something is wrong. A deep rumbling reverberates beneath my feet, a shiver running up my spine. The air grows heavy with oppressive, as though the walls are closing in around me. I look around wildly, but there's no sign of the danger that my body is sure is near. What is... And then I see them, countless shapes pressing themselves against the windows. Some are familiar ones, some I've never seen before, but their eyes are on me, rounding on me as if I'm a caged animal. Their whispers permeate the glass, low at first, but soon rising to furiously hurled curses, words I know all too well. Sure, I saw her hide a smile. Probably wanted to keep his money all to herself. Doesn't sound like she actually loved him at all. one voice I hear above all the others. Thought his wife was going to kill him. Stop. I began to draw myself, but they won't relent. They don't even seem to notice me there anymore, so I wrapped up. I wrapped up, are they in their hatred? So wrapped up are they in their hatred. Could she even think that of him? Who does she think she is? Nothing without him, and she knew it. Stop! I open my mouth, but no sound comes out. The voices rise to a fever pitch, and rage shouts and howling turns taut so loud they threaten to shatter the glass that holds them. I can barely even hear my own words anymore. Greedy, ungrateful, faithless, murderer! Stop! A dead silence falls after my scream. The shadows all swivel to look at me in unison, as though they're one body, one mind. But I don't care. You have no idea what you're talking about. None of you. Not a single one of you knows what our marriage was really like. And why would you? You only ever saw what you wanted to see. If you knew the first thing about me, you know I would never do this. My eyes scan with writhing crowd, and suddenly there she is, the woman I saw him with. You had something with my husband, didn't you? She tilts her head at me with contempt. Yes, I did, and I'm not ashamed. He helped me through a hard time, but you just had to make it about you. Why shouldn't he and I comfort each other? You never gave him what he needed, even when he did everything for you. Don't make it about him. They're gonna get mad. I'm gonna make it about me. He was never satisfied. It wouldn't have mattered. If I gave him everything I had, nothing I did was ever good enough for him. And to say that I drove him to you is nothing but an excuse. Humph, keep telling yourself that. Something about her seems to deflate, and she melts away into the masses. I shake my head and find another shape in the crowd. Her, my oldest friend. But why are you here? I never did anything to you. Didn't you? The moment you married that man, you suddenly didn't have time for anyone else. I thought we'd always be friends, but you abandoned me. She bows her head sadly. Why did you do that to me? What did I do wrong? Yeah, he turned me against you. I'm sorry. He always told me you were a bad influence. And for a long time, I believed him. He must have hated how close we were. I think in the end he just wanted me to himself. There's still time, you know. We could find each other again someday. Her body sags, as though a great weight has been lifted off her shoulders, and then she's gone. I squeeze my eyes shut. I can't think of that, not yet, so I find one more shape in the mob. You were his patient, his friend. You did everything together, and you never once saw him betray me. If he ever hid anything from you, it's because you were always so paranoid. He couldn't so much as be alone with someone without you biting his head off. He was a good man. He only ever wanted to help people. Why are you so hell-bent on denying that? Let's say you enabled him. Of course! Why didn't I see it before? He kept you around because you always covered for him, and your friendship meant that you never questioned him either. I wonder, did you ever know what he was really doing on at all those nights when he used you as an excuse to not come home? You got me all wrong. I never meant to. But the shameful shifting of the stance tells me all I need to know. He withdraws into himself and then vanishes into the crowd. That's quite enough, darling. It's the most familiar voice to me in the world, yet my heart jumps all the same. I resist my instinct to look away and follow his voice up to the top of the staircase to meet his eyes. But, oh? The figure that stands before me is no bigger than my husband, but the malice that radiates from his body seems to stretch all the way to the ceiling, no, even higher than that, to the sky. No matter how hard I focus, I can't seem to see him in any detail. It's like I'm staring into a blind spot in my vision, a spot of nothingness. He peers at me from a face enshrouded in darkness, his head tilted at an odd angle, as though his neck is broken. It looks nothing like him, but somehow I know it is. This really is getting tiresome. Don't you think it's time to drop this silly little charade? He takes a menacing step down the stairs, and I'm suddenly aware that I'm completely alone with him. But I refuse to relent. Not now. That's all you know how to do, isn't it? Treat my pain like an inconvenience every time I get too uppity. Shut me down over and over again until I don't see the point of getting up anymore. Well, call it whatever you want. This isn't a game, and I'm not playing. He draws in a breath, deep and shuddering like death rattle, and it takes me a moment to realize that he's laughing. Such fire! Where was this backbone when we were married? Perhaps if you hadn't been so useless, I wouldn't have had to. No! You don't get to turn this around on me anymore. You never wanted a wife, you wanted a doll, a mindless little nothing, always at your beck and call, who never got angry or talked back, who never once questioned anything you did, because the truth was so obvious that that one look was all it took. One look to see that you were the pathetic one. His forearm bristles with a palpable anger, but I can't stop. The words kept flooding out of me, a torrent finally breaking through a dam. All your hatred, your sadness, your apathy. You were too much of a coward to face any of it, so instead you put it all on me. So desperate were you to feel like the man that you endlessly beat down on someone. So desperate you were to feel like a man that you endlessly beat down on someone who you knew would never fight back. And you were perfectly willing to let the whole town think that I was the problem too, that I would even kill you. Well, congratulations. You were so convinced that it took you dying for me to see that you were never anything more than a broken, empty. I don't see him move. In the blink of an eye, he's gone from the stairs to inches away from my face. Up close, his head wasn't his ugly, writhing mass of shadows, his eyes a furious blaze. How dare you! I feel the air go out of my lungs. His very presence is so cold, so suffocating, that being this close to him is like a plunging into a freezing water. I have lived horrors that you can't even begin to imagine. I was a hero. I earned my place in heaven 1,000 times over. And all I asked for in return was peace and quiet, a loving wife, a family. But you couldn't even give me that. Instead, you sat there, day after day, moaning about how unfair it all was. Are you an idiot? I didn't have to give you the world. I chose to, and I can take it all away just as easily. The dark tendrils close around me and squeeze. Spots swim in my vision, and I begin to fade. This is it. I can't even scream. I can only gasp for the air that doesn't come. And then, somewhere in the quietest part of my mind, I hear her. Is that it? Come on, don't give up on me now. You feel it too, don't you? Why he's so desperate. He's afraid of you, of me, of us. Use it. Something in me flares to life, and my hand shoots out of its own accord to seize him by the jaw, forcing him to look at me. Wind whips out around me, sending the tendrils shrinking back. For a moment I see it in his eyes. Fear. I don't think so. He struggles against the force holding him in place, but it's no use. He spits out another hoarse laugh, teeth gnashing in theory. You really think you've won? It doesn't matter what happens here. You're nothing without me, and you always will be. Nothing but my poor wretched widow, who could never. My name is Hilda. The wind rises to a fever pitch, threatening to engulf him entirely, but I don't let it. Not yet. Instead, I hold my shadow at bay as I pull him close. And you will never speak my name again, because you're dead and I'm not. Now go to hell where you belong. I plunge my other hand into his chest, where his heart should be, and twist. He gives a final enraged howl before the wind cuts him into ribbons. And where there was once a cloud of impenetrable darkness, suddenly there's just me. And her. Well, that was exciting. I can only give her a tired laugh in response. I know I have nothing to fear from her now. Somehow it feels silly that I ever did. Not the celebration you were expecting? No, well, it was even better. So, what's next for us? I'm going to go home, take a bath, and get the best sleep I've had in years. And then we're going to live. Sounds like a plan. She vanishes, her echoing laugh reverberating in my own chest. I take a moment to breathe, slowly in, slowly out, before returning to leave. Golden sunlight streams in through the door that creaks open at my approach. I stop at the threshold, taking one last look at the strange house in the woods, before stepping out into the fresh air. There's so much that went unsaid, so many words scarred over I know. Oh, that won't heal overnight. But I have all the time in the world for that. For now, it's time to go home. The end. I got 3 of 3. Yes, we got a 3 ending. So we got to load back to the beginning. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. All the way, all the way, all the way. Yes, hello. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that wasn't my intention. Even though I've already apologized, I instinctively do it once more. For years, it's just been an automatic reaction. It's the easiest way out. Humph. I'll forgive you this time, since I'm feeling generous. He really is just like him, despite the changes in appearance. I must be going crazy. Maybe I am going crazy after all. What am I meant to do now? I can't do anything without my husband. I close my eyes, dreading the thoughts that barrel into my head as fast as bullets. Fear strikes me as I wonder just what may happen if I truly have lost my mind. When I open my eyes again, the man and the villagers are no longer there. What? I take a look around me, trying to see if they have hidden somewhere. Yet there's no sign of them. My eyes fall upon the door once more. Perhaps I will find more about this place if I go inside. Alright, we knock. Hi, me. I look really cool, by the way. I love the Shadows character design. I'm nothing like you. Ha! Ha ha ha! You're quite pathetic, aren't you? Fine, we can leave the festivities for later, since you're having such a hard time accepting this. Don't even try, the door's locked tight. Why? Much too early for you to leave. Explore the house. I'll explore the house. I shouldn't jump to conclusions. He's right, this is a part of his job. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. Still, who was that woman? I don't understand. It was so unclear. She's a patient. Oh. She's just a patient. I'm grateful he chose me. That's true, I should count my blessings that he chose me. But now I question what sort of woman I married. Look at the mess around the house. What have you done in cleaning at all today? I hold my tongue. I always do. Knowing how he'll respond, I hold my tongue. When my husband was alive, I was clean. It was part of my wifely duties. You should spend less time eavesdropping, more time taking care of the home. I would wish there was a way to show him just how much I did for us. Yes. I don't have time. I do, but perhaps not enough. Well, if that's all, you may return to your daily tasks. Blah, blah, blah. Dilly-dally. Though his words feel dismissive, I find comfort in his tone. Still, something continues to eat away at me. That woman I see her at her home before, during its off hours. When he courted me, he was not married, but now, despite his marital sandwich, she continues. It's scary, but something within pushes me to power through. A memory surges through me. I've done this. Drop it now! Women, can you not see I'm devoted to you? Who do you think I work so hard for? Food on table, roof overhead. I recoil at his outbursts. The anger on his face makes me question my previous actions. I can't bear to look at him. Do you not see how much you do for us? And you're accusing me of outrageous things while you laze around doing absolutely nothing. Although this is far from the first time he raised his voice. Sorry, I'm giving him a really trying to be funny. I take the pills. These thoughts have frequented my mind for far too long. I am tired of their presence. Yielding to his professional suggestion, I reach out and take his offer. I don't know what others in town say about you, your episodes. Administering these pills is a way of protecting you, darling. Try to understand the position you put me in. Do you not see how you make me behave? Only this way. When we're together, no one else pushes me to my limits, quite like you. I talk back. You've changed. You weren't always like this. I'm only telling you these things because I love you. Why must you continue to question me? What I do, how I am? If you truly love me as much as I love you, you let me be. Yeah, you trust me. It's a trust you to take care of my home. But I do love you. Then show me that you do. As it stands, I just don't see your feelings reflecting in your actions. He raises the back of his hand to my forehead, checking for a fever. Content with his assessment, he steps back to look at me, up and down, scrutinizing me more as he signs of illness. Could there be something subconscious clouding your judgments towards me? This gives me pause. I think maybe he's right. My doubts have manifested into how I've been seeing and ultimately treating him. I should have done better while he was with me. He stares at me long and hard, unwavering in his gaze. Now be a dear and leave me be. I have work to do. He returns to his papers on his desk, already turning me out. I silently head for the door, leading back into the hallway. I don't need you interrupting me any more than you already have. The nursery never used. The crying continues to haunt me, though not as much as before. I draw closer to the photo, remembering the circumstances which led to this. He said it was my fault. That I was the reason for our lack of children, for his lack of someone to carry on his legacy. And since I never conceived, there was something wrong with me. He is a doctor. If there's something wrong with you, why couldn't he cure it? Perhaps he was right. Best not to linger on what could have been. I continue to the next frame photo and look up at the woman before me. Sorry we lost so much of our time together, but perhaps it was for the best that we drifted apart. My husband always told me how much of a bad influence she was. Have you not heard of the town speaks of her? No man must have met her. Too wild for a woman, especially those who are married. Women like me. I walk up to the framed image and reach up to her. Why did you never marry? Though I asked the question, I already know the answer. Her voice echoes in my memory. Being tied to a man will only keep me anchored. I remember how she always looked at the horizon, excited to see the world beyond, and how whenever she turned back and saw me, she flashed a smile. But I wanted to fly. Won't you join me? Her smile was too bright for me. I always felt I had to turn away, like I was never strong enough to stand by her side. After all, I knew where I felt comfortable, where I was needed, where I belonged. Turning my back on my friend yet again, I do my best to continue. It's what she would have done. I stop at the last frame before me. The unhappy memories of my wedding night enter my mind. My husband had pulled me aside to explain just how rude I was being. I had pointed out a forgotten price tag at the bottom of the wine glass gifted by his parents. But he was right. I should have looked at a gift horse in the mouth. I shouldn't have looked at a gift horse in the mouth. Instead, I should have simply accepted the gift and kept a smile on my face. I really was the one who chiseled the first dent into our marriage. If only I'd known better. The moment I turned away from the framed photo, the arc of the hallway exit appears before me, as if the house knows I'm ready to move on. Oh yeah, everything's my fault now. I hurry through the archway as quickly as possible before leaving those memories behind. Oh my gosh. Yeah, alright. My shadow. But I see you're still... Oh, wait. Suddenly, she appears before me again with that odd smile that doesn't look right on her face, my shadow. I'm doing this for you, my dear, so you can finally stop burying your head in the sand. But I see you're still clinging to the delusion. Why? Something about her is different now. The air seems to burn and flicker around her like a photograph that's been thrown into fire. She's angry. Because you're wrong. I loved my husband. Those were misunderstandings. He only ever wanted what was best for me, even when I assumed the worst of him. He deserved better than that, better than me. How deep are you going to dig this hole for yourself? The man isn't even here anymore, and yet you continue to let him beat you down. Ever the dutiful wife, Fine, have it your way. If you still refuse to see the truth, I suppose I'll just have to... Oh. Her body warps and slowly stretches upwards, her limbs contorting as she transforms into something inhuman. And then, towering above me, she leisurely pulls back her veil as my heart rises to my throat. Show you everything! I only see her face for a moment before twisting, instant and nightmarish than before, and then she's gone, with only the hateful grin lingering in the air. And just like that, I'm alone again. But something is wrong. A deep rumbling reverberates beneath my feet, a shivering running up my spine. The air grows heavy and oppressive as though the walls are closing in around me. Okay. I did my best. He may have complained, but I did everything I could for him. I thought that would count for something, but obviously not. Her form shudders, and a wicked curved blade appears in her hand. Why can't you just admit that you didn't deserve him? I shake my head and find another shape in the crowd, her, my oldest friend. But why are you here? I never did anything to you. Didn't you? The moment you married that man, you suddenly didn't have time for me. She bows her head sadly. Why did you do that to me? What did I do wrong? You were a bad influence. I may not have been able to see it, but he could. He was only protecting me when he told me to stay away from you. I just wish I could have realized sooner how poisonous you were to me. She scoffs, and the glow around her intensifies to form a flame plucked out of the air on a torch. And you just believe anything he says? No questions asked? I squeeze my eyes shut. I can't think of that. Not yet, so I find one more shape in the mob. Your worst patient, his friend, you did everything together. You never gave me a chance. I didn't know that he said that about me. But whenever we saw each other, you never said 2 words to me, either. How could I explain myself if you never bothered to listen? His fist clenches, and suddenly there was a razor-sharp pitchfork in his hand. You really can't take responsibility for anything, can you? Enough! The shadow scream echoed through the hall, causing the place to tremble. In a blink, all the furious townspeople disappear. The figure of my shadow appears at the top of the stairs. Her feathers pointed outwards seem more like blades. When she walks down the steps, though, something begins to change. Her fingers elongate, becoming sharp like claws of a feline. Her body contorts forward as multiple thin limbs break through her back. When she finally steps into the light, she yanks her veil away and sets her now beady eyes on me. How pathetic must you be to still fall for those lies? Perhaps I overestimated you, thinking we were one and the same. It's hard to speak. Words stick in my throat as I gaze at this disturbing form. My body can barely move, frozen in place, as if I'd been turned into stone. But somehow, I managed to utter some words. We are nothing alike. You may be right after all. How could I be the same as someone so weak? The way you bend yourself to the will of that man, it makes me want to vomit. I'm so glad we killed him. I did not! All the things people say, what if they were right? That you're a cold-blooded murderer, a lunatic. After all, you're so keen on believing them. You're mad, a monster, a worthless wife. But oh, it makes you so sad, doesn't it? Well, I have a proposition for you. You don't have to suffer anymore. After all, no one needs you. I don't need you. So why don't you just die? Before I can react, the monster lunges at me. Her sharp fingers wrap around my throat. I try to gasp for air, but her grip is too tight. Her nails begin digging into my skin, drawing blood. Stop struggling! Isn't this what a horrible waste of space like you deserves? When I attempt to pull her arms away, my own are quickly stabbed and held down by another pair of spider legs. No matter how much you reject me, I'm your truest self. So there's no need for an imposter like you. I can feel more limbs wrapping themselves around my entire body, making it impossible to move. The more I try to struggle, the more she changes, until all her prior resemblance to a human has vanished. In the end, I stop trying. I'm aware there's never been any use in fighting back. Why would I do so now? Well, a warm liquid spills down my neck and torso. My body falls limp as the will to move disappears from my mind. My consciousness begins to fade. The last thing I see is her mouth wide open. Wow. So I got 1 of 3. Okay, this is gonna be hard to find the third one, but we're gonna figure it out. Okay? It's the least I can do right now. I don't even know where to start. I'll just start again and skip. This might take a couple of tries, to be honest. I kind of have an idea of how to change the trajectory, but I'm not really sure. Finally, he sighs and returns to the papers on his desk. If you have nothing left to say, leave me to my work. He waves me away without so much as a glance. As I head towards the door, he speaks one last time. Be sure to close the door on your way out. I don't need you interrupting me any more than you already have. Maybe I found the other ending? I wish you were with me now to help me pull me out of this place. I remember how strong-willed she was. Nothing could faze her. Not this house, not that imposter, not even my husband. My husband never had anything good to say about her. She will only plague your thoughts with the ideas of unfit for a woman, let alone a wife. You have to let her go at some point. She won't be with you forever. Have you not heard how the town speaks of her? Why do you continue to be how she continues to be unwed? And yet, she never lets this dictate her life. I wish I was that strong. Turning my back on my friend, yet again I do my best to continue. That's what she would have done. My husband had pulled me aside. Seething through his clenched teeth, he explained how rude I was being by pointing out a forgotten price tag at the bottom of his parents' gift wine bottle. That was the first time I learned how little he cared to listen to anything I had to say. Perhaps I could have responded differently. Maybe spoken up for myself, or even said nothing at all. If only I knew this was how things would turn out. So you can stop burying her. What makes you think I am? He was horrible to me. I know that. But I wasn't a good wife, either. I was always questioning him, accusing him, even when he's done nothing wrong. I just couldn't stop myself. And why was that? Do you think you're saying he never gave you a reason to doubt him? That not a single part of you is glad to be free of his lies? No, Make whatever excuses you want. The sooner you face the truth, the sooner this will all be over. Clearly, you just haven't seen enough. We should fix that. She covers her mouth to give a demure giggle as she vanishes. And just like that, I'm alone again. Well, I think I actually did it the first time. We actually made it to something. But something is wrong. He was never satisfied. He turned me against you. You never gave me a chance, that's the truth. Enough! My heart jumps as a sudden voice sounds at the top of the staircase. My shadow stands above me, stately as a queen, the crowd dissipating in her presence. Her gaze burns into me with a white-hot intensity as she descends, stepping into the light. Her body had warped into something grotesque. My dear, I'm your truest self. I know your heart inside and out. I know what you're going to do before you even do. You think I don't know stalling when I see it? What do you want from me? I did what you asked. I faced everything you wanted me to face. What else am I supposed to do? She lets out a sigh, as though she explained this 1,000 times already. I want you to be free, to embrace all the parts of you that he would never let you be before. Even the part that wants to celebrate. Especially the parts that wants to celebrate. You can surrender to your happiness, or you can continue to wallow in your pathetic denial. But don't blame me for what happens when you do. So tell me once and for all, what's it going to be? She regards me coldly, and somehow, I know that everything hinges on what I'm about to say. I take a brief breath, and I answer in the truest way I can think of. It's not that simple. You stand there and tell me I have to either celebrate the death of a monster or admit that I was everything they say I was. Pathetic, paranoid, a heartless murderer. But what if both are true, or neither? We had our problems, and we both had our moments of cruelty. I wasn't always kind to him either. We were human, and we acted as humans do. So yes, in a lot of ways, I suppose I'm freer than I was when he was alive. And maybe someday I can learn to find some comfort in that. But I will never be happy that he's dead. She's quiet for a long moment until it almost seems like she isn't going to say anything at all. And then, I see. Something in her relents, and I hear the front door slowly creak open. You can go. Just like that? Just like that. But know this, you don't have me fooled. Freezing our heart is not the same as embracing it. Sooner or later, all ice has to crack. And until that day comes, I'll never be far. She vanishes, just as a silver of dull sunlight reaches her. For a moment, I don't dare move. Only when I'm sure that she's really gone, do I turn and head for the door. I stop at the threshold, wondering if I should take one last look back. But in the end, I can't bring myself to. I take a breath and step outside. The woods that put me on edge before are a welcome sight now. It seems as though barely any time had passed since I entered the house. Wow, we actually get to go back to the town? As I head back to the path that brought me here, something tells me I'll be able to find my way back to the town now. I don't know how I'm going to face my neighbors again, but I'll find a way. I have to. Suddenly, the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end as I sense a presence nearby. A strange, garbling noise sounds from somewhere behind me. I whip around, wildly scanning the trees around me, but there's nothing. I turn back and soldier on towards the town. I know I'm not free of her. Maybe I will never be. But for now, I can just breathe. For now, it's time to go home. I come home after a morning of getting groceries. Everything is just as I left it. I'm still getting used to that. It's been a month since I walked out of that house in the woods. Finding my normal was hard at first, but every day it becomes just a little bit easier. I still have to catch myself sometimes. I drop a plate or burn dinner, and I chastise myself just as he did. I like to think I'm getting better, but some days I truly wonder if I can do anything right. The whispers on the street have all died down now. Whether people get bored of gossip or I simply stop listening to them, I can't say. I suppose it doesn't matter much in the end. I haven't seen my shadows since the last time we spoke. Sometimes I spot movement out of the corner of my eye, or someone's laugh sounds just like hers. But it always ends up being my imagination. Deep down, I'm terrified of the day she'll make herself known again. But until then, I do my best to go on living. That has to count for something. Right? Ended 2 of 3. So we had an ending of absolute certainty that we were the problem. An ending of absolute certainty that he was the problem. And the end of unsureness and saying, oh, we're just I'm only human after all. We're only human after all. We abuse each other. We're not nice to each other. We are not the best to each other, but we're all human. Yay! Yay! It's not my fault. It's not his fault. We're all humans. Yep, we're just sticking it out together. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna end on this because I do like this picture and I do like this character design is my favorite one. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and I'll see you in the next video.